Welcome back to Athletic Everyday, day number 200, up to the second century now, hopefully a few more centuries to come. So I figured I would start out this workout with some mobility work, and as you can see here, I'm on my favorite hill to do hill sprints. So for hill sprints today, I decided that I would set up 20 meters and then just do a timer for 10 minutes and then just get as many in as I possibly could within that time, giving myself adequate rest, of course. You could just go straight away and get 10 or even 15 sprints in, I don't know, however long it would take you. But because the fatigue would build up, the sprints would get progressively more unstimulating, because your body's not in a fresh state, so it's not able to produce the most amount of force, and it's not going to be able to sprint at top speeds. You need to make sure you've got plenty of rest in between each sprint. Some people say 1 minute for every 10 meters sprinted. I don't know how well that applies to hill sprints, but I'm a very big fan of just auto-regulating. Just go whenever you feel like you're ready. If you feel like you're ready to sprint again, then just go again. If you don't, then just take a few more seconds rest, or another 30 seconds, and that usually works quite well. The reason I decided that I would do hill sprints today is because over the last few weeks I've just been doing flat ground sprints, so I figured I would get a little bit of variety in. Although I do variety in my sprints with forward rolls into the sprints, curve sprints, sprinting around a corner, doing a backflip and then sprinting, knee up and sprinting. It's also nice to change the gradient, because when you sprint uphill, it's a lot more concentric action rather than eccentric action. And it's a lot less stress on the joints, because the hill is trying to decelerate you essentially, and you're just trying to force yourself up it. So a bit more gentle on the knees. Anyway, then I moved into some calisthenics. Started out with some muscle ups. Decided that I would do 3 sets of building weighted muscle ups. First set, 5 kilos for 3 reps. Second set, I worked up to, I think, 7.5 kilos. And on the last set, I was kind of thinking, why don't I just try and do 7.5 kilos again with better form, try and make sure the form is a bit stricter. But then I was like, well, if I just add 2.5 kilos and get to 10 kilos, then if I do 3 reps of this, then that'll be a 3RM PR. So I was like, screw it, let me try it. Wasn't feeling particularly strong, but hey, I got it. So 3RM PR of 10 kilos, weighted muscle ups is pretty darn good for me. It wasn't long ago this year when 1 rep with this was really difficult for me, and I was super impressed with that, and now I've just tripled it. So I guess the next stop is doing this for 5, and yeah, that'll be pretty cool. And I moved into some weighted chins. Started out with a warm-up set of 20 kilos for 8. When I was doing the weighted chins, main focus was just really strict form, trying to make sure it's chest to bar every single time. Literally pulling the bar into my chest really strongly. So you get a nice, it's not a lockout position, but you're getting to that end range of motion. So you're getting, just a full range of motion pull up, or a chin up as it's called, or a supinated pull up. And then the 40 kilos for 5 definitely moved really well. Even on the 5th rep on the second set, the weight started to flip on my legs, which made me a little bit unstable, but I was still able to continue pulling and get the last bit of range of motion on that last rep, which is always the hardest part. The last rep is always the hardest, and the last little part of the range of motion is always the hardest on that last rep. So yeah, I think that is actually not quite a PR, but it's definitely a form PR. My form's never looked this good with 40 kilos for 5 reps, and also for that number of sets as well. I remember testing it in the past, and I did something like 40 kilos for 5 with a chin, and my form is nowhere near that good, and I was struggling on that last rep. So that's definitely some serious improvement in my pulling strength. Then lastly, I did some incline or planche push-ups, whatever you want to call them. Not planche push-ups, sorry, pike push-ups. Got the P's mixed up there. Pike push-ups. First set, I was focusing on just being as vertical as possible with my torso. Second set, I was trying to make it a bit more of an incline press, so it's kind of like a happy medium between horizontal and vertical pushing, get a little bit more upper chest activation and anterior deltoids. And then the last set, I just went back into doing sort of strict form, making sure that I kept a more vertical torso. So I got a bit more kind of medial deltoid activation. But yeah, overall, good workout. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I think I'm really starting to enjoy doing mixed sessions where I do a lower body explosive day, or heavy lifting with the lower body, and then some calisthenics skills, or an explosive lower body day, and then some heavy strength training with my upper body. That's a good little mix of things. I don't know how Olympic lifting is going to fit into that, because Olympic lifting is kind of full body, especially the snatch, but yeah, I'll find a way to fit it in going forwards. All right then, so that is pretty much it for today's workout. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one.